Well, all right. Sometime in the fall of 1991, I'm working at a nightclub in Cleveland, Ohio, down in the flats called Peabody's Down Under. And Peabody's was a rock and roll roadhouse where anybody on their way up or on the way down would stop and play there. Now, I was the house sound guy there and stage manager, jack of all things. I'd even do the lights some nights. I mean, I just made the shows happen. It was a lot for a one-man job, but it's what it was, And it was a low pay and high adventure. And this night we had three groups. We had a group called Murphy's Law, the Dwarves, and a group from Scotland, a punk rock group called The Exploited, which at that time I had never heard of. So this Exploited aren't there to do a sound check. All right. And the Dwarves aren't interested in doing one. So there we go. We get Murphy's Law up on stage. And, the crowd was about 600-700 people that night, which is just about capacity. And there was no barricade in front of the stage at Peabody's. It was just, right up to the front of the deck, the crowd would get. And the mosh pit there would get, for a club of that size, the mosh pit was pretty impressive. And that was really the dawn of mosh pits, that early 90s kind of thing. So Murphy's Law plays, and they do their set, and thankfully nothing exciting really happens, because that's a plus in my book. So we get the set change, get the Dwarves up there, and the Dwarves come out, and I noticed something interesting. The singer, he is wearing a tutu, like a ballerina's tutu, like a pink tutu. And, that's a statement. And I really don't notice what the other members of the band are wearing, except for the stage right guitar player, who is near on my side where the monitor mixing console is, where I control the sound for the band up there. He's naked. He's naked except for his tennis shoes, which I think were some Chucks, and a Flying V guitar. Not much different from the one I got sitting back here. And this was a huge issue. They start their first song and they're going, the mosh pit's going crazy and they're playing. Well, what's happening is that there's a law in Ohio, it's from the strip clubs, that if there's any nudity in the club, you're not allowed to sell alcohol. So there's a bunch of cops in the place, and immediately the club's got to stop selling liquor. Now, standing next to me at the monitor console is a promoter, a representative from the club, the band's tour manager, and a couple of cops. And the cops don't think this is funny. But what is funny at the moment is that naked guy up on the deck, hanging off at the very edge of the stage. He's completely naked at the very edge of the stage. And some guy in the crowd is crowd surfing. Crowd surfaces up, reach under, and he grabs the guy's package and just gives it a yank. The guitar player kicked him, kept on playing. The guy surfed back into the crowd, And I thought that was funny on so many levels. It was funny because who does that? It was funny because the guy was naked. It was funny because the guy wouldn't back up just a couple inches, so the guy couldn't reach in. I mean, maybe he was digging him. I don't know, but it happened again. And this argument behind me is getting pretty heated with the cops and the tour manager, and are we going to arrest him? Now, I can't hear what they're saying because it's so loud, and they're really yelling at each other. They're not having like this low-level conversation. And I look up, and the crowd surf guy comes in. He's surfing through the crowd. He reaches up, and he grabs the guy's package with such force that it actually dipped him down. And instead of kicking him like he did the other couple times, he takes his guitar off and crashes him over the head with it. I could not believe what I was saying. The kid's head split open, bloodshot everywhere, and the crowd rushed the stage. Pandemonium, right? And one of the cops pulled out this thing of mace and just started spraying everybody, but he got tackled by a bunch of kids, and now that cop's laying on the stage is spraying this mace, and there's some kid that is just getting the brunt of this mace. It was in his clothes, it was in his hair, it was all over him, and he was choking out And I'm on the stage trying to pull people apart, and I saw him. I pulled him out. I grabbed his two buddies. We got to the stage right side where the monitor console and the bathrooms were right there. And I said, hey, man, you got to get your buddy in there ASAP and get this. We got to wash this up, get these clothes off him, wash this up, get some water on him right away, because he was choking out. He was having a bad time. So they disappear and do their thing. And then I was right at the stage door, and these paramedics come in. So I grabbed one of the paramedics. I said, hey, man, listen, one of these kids just got maced. He's like drowning in it. I sent him in the bathroom for them to wash it off with water. And the paramedic goes, no. Don't do that because it's going to burn. And like almost on cue, I could hear the poor kid screaming out of the bathroom. And I felt terrible. I thought I was giving him some good advice and saying, so I didn't. So that didn't work out very well for them. So they arrest naked guy, and I don't know what they did with the guitar. I don't remember, but the stage was pretty trashed. We had to reset it. Security gets everyone calmed down. A bunch of people got thrown out, and we reset the stage, and we're ready for the Exploited, who up to this point I had not seen. So I really don't know what they want. As a monitor guy, I get the vocals loud in the wedges and make it so you could hear this and that. We could just adjust it as we go, as we say in the business. And so the primary members come out. The lead singer comes out. He's this crazy punk guy with this big mohawk down the front. And the very first thing he does, he goes on stage, he gets the vocal mic on the stage right side that was on a stand. He goes, hi! And he takes that mic, tips it over with the stand, and he crushes it under his boot. Now, I am blown away. I've never seen this move before. And it's making a horrible sound, so I gotta mute that. Okay, we're moving on. Then he grabs what is the center vocal, which would have been his vocal, and the first thing he says, he goes, I need my vocal! The first thing he says, throws it on the ground, crushes it under his boot. Not going to get more vocal that way. Turn that off. Then he goes to the stage left vocal mic. He does the same thing. He said something, broke the mic stand over his knee, threw it on the deck, and crushed it under his boot. Then he did something I'd never seen before either, a double. He jumped through the speakers on the floor, what we call the floor monitors, which is what the artists used to hear themselves. He jumped through the speaker with his Nazi boots that he had on. And then he went to the speaker next and jumped through that and jumped through the next one. I mean, I cannot believe what I'm saying. My boss is going to be freaked out. How do you even start to, I'm just like, oh, what am I going to charge for this? It was such destruction. And then he started throwing shit at me. And he's tried to throw rack one, the microphone that was on the very first tom for the drummer. He gets these drum mics, tries to throw it at me, and I'm saved by the cable length. Stops it. And I think that irritated him. And they found a beer bottle on the floor, picked it up, threw it at me. And I put my arm up, bounced off my arm. Oh boy, I was pissed. I went up on stage and I just pushed him right into the drum kit. He goes into the kit, the whole thing down, the drummer goes down, one of the bandmates comes after me, and the crowd rushes the stage again. Right up and over, and everything goes down. The marshals go down, the rest of everything goes down, everything goes down. I'm pinned on the stage, and I can't say for sure if it was the same cop. I don't know what is up with this guy, but I am getting maced. My hair, I had hair, is filled with mace. It's on my clothes. I feel like I'm vomiting out of my nostrils. Like everything's just draining out of my eyes, my nose. I can't breathe. I'm coughing, and somebody pulls me out. I get up, I can't see, I don't know what's going on, and I hear someone say, hey, you gotta get him in the bathroom and wash that off. True story. Unbelievable. And I did not allow that to happen. And at the time, it was not funny. But looking back, it's funny.